r/ask Reddit. People who've had sex with celebrities. How was it? I knew a girl who was an escort. She had sex with Derek Jeter. Afterwards he called her L in my opinion to take her home. In the L in my opinion was a gift. It was a baseball signed by Derek Jeter. He did this with all of them. There are plenty of dames in New York with Yankees gift baskets courtesy of this legend. Damn. Man straight up fricked all of New York. Jenna Jameson kissed me on the mouth at a strip club in Ohio. That's all I got. That's all I got. Count yourself lucky. Post Malone asked my ex-girlfriend if she would be interested in going home with him under the condition that she would have to eat his ass. If there is one person's ass I would not want to eat, he would probably be it. Plus, his beehole probably has some stupid tattoo on it. Like So Hungry or Summit. Blessed. It says ghetto. When he bends over it says get zero. Imagine eating Post Malone's beehole. Knew a girl who fricked Zac Efron. Had to sign an NDA. Told me he wasn't all that great in bed, i.e. the fantasy was better than the reality. Still fanboyed over him hard apparently. So much about that NDA. No dong agreement. Go to sign an NDA to get that DNA. Good for your friend in keeping with the confidentiality of that agreement. My nana was in a serious relationship with Nash of Crosby, Stills and Nash. Is she Joni Mitchell? You know, now that you mention it. A girl I went to high school with dated Jason Ackner aka Wee Man, shortly before Jackass 3 came out. He visited her family in WI around Thanksgiving time, but he hated WI so much that he paid her best friend to drive him to the airport in the middle of the night. I guess when he visited he was WI man. My friend bragged to me about getting banged by Tone Loc, funky cold Medina guy. She was 18, but seemed proud of it. About 20 years later we were watching old videos and Tone Loc came on and I asked her about it and she said it sucked. He didn't shower after coming off stage, a little smelly, drunk and gave a few pumps and was done. He barely did the wild thing. The mild thing. Slept with the lady that used to do the morning news in my city. This was at least 15 years ago. She is a blanket stealer and puts her cold feet right between your legs when she wants them warmed up. Now everyone knows Cassie. This is the cutest one by far. This is the only one so far. She is a blanket stealer and puts her cold feet right between your legs when she wants them warmed up. So every girl I've slept with. Why are women's feet so damn freaking cold? I married the only one I ever found with warm feet. I have a friend that slept with one of the guys from Metro Station about 5 years after we thought they were cool for a year. Apparently he wanted zero foreplay, finished within a minute or two, then basically threw her out. Did she shake it? This broke all my teenage dreams right now, haha. A buddy of mine dated a celebrity of American Pie fame, a certain foreign exchange character. He has my eternal jealousy, but was a gentleman on the details. I did get to meet her and play poker at her house though, so there's that. It wasn't X, but I did beat her at a couple of hands, so that was cool. Then she cheated on him with a dance show partner. Disappointing all round I think. She was like the pinnacle of hotness back in the day. Too bad she was a cheater. My grandma is from Memphis and fricked. Dated Elvis for a while before he became mega famous. She has tons of pictures of them together and has told me tons of anecdotes that I have only seen in a few other places. Come here grandchild, let me tell you the story of the time Elvis came on my titties. Let me tell you dearie, he ain't nothing but a horn dog. I made sure his balls were not the same color as his suede shoes. A co-worker's sister slept with Chris Evans before he was famous. Same town. She worked it into every conversation she could. Cause why wouldn't you? My mother went to the same high school as him, even though not even close to the same time period. You can't bring him up, or even anything Marvel related without her bringing that up. She got America's dong. I just want America's ass. Girl I know slept with G-Eazy in 2015 before he was really big. He gave her chlamydia. Lmao. I feel like chlamydia is his middle name. Chlamydia easy? I saw Danny DeVito cursing out a cyclist who nearly wiped him out getting out of a private cab once in San Fran. Was almost as good as X. It's too bad he didn't start blasting. Friend girl of mine bang screwed an NBA player. The only detail I remember was that he was adamant about taking the condom with him when he left. Update. Thank you for the award. No child left behind. Yes, crazy groupies will indeed try to impregnate themselves with used condoms as a lottery ticket. Players are instructed to never leave their men behind. Not me, but a girl I knew slept with some F-list reality TV douchebag. He quoted himself off the show as a chat-up line and then again after he came. She described the experience as embarrassing, but not sure for who. I'm guessing it was Puck from the Real World SF. Shortly after the Real World season with Puck, I worked at a ski resort and Puck approached me to give him a free lift ticket because he was famous. People were starting to stop, stare and whisper. He sniped, "Don't you know who I am?" I totally knew who he was, but since he was an ass I replied, "I don't." He was suddenly slightly embarrassed and started to explain. I just shook my head and said who what sorry no and walked off. It was so satisfying. He had to buy his own damn ticket like everyone else. A friend of mine fricked the Dell guy of dude. You're getting a Dell fame when we were in college. If you know who the Dell guy is, congratulations on being old like me and my friend. She got the D. I remember he got fired when he was busted with weed lol. Which was hilarious. BC the whole commercial was him being a stoner kid. Well, if this thread has taught me something, it's that celebrities are riddled with STDs. Anyone who is going to frick Randus left and right is heavily statistically likely to be a collection of STDs. I'm starting to figure out people who bang celebrities aren't on Reddit. Before AIDS was a thing, a friend of mine slept with Christopher Walken. He was in town for one night and told her that's all they'd have. She was fine with that. She said he was a perfect gentleman and a very sweet lover. He kept telling her how beautiful she was and made her feel like a queen. This made me happy to hear. He's got a good way about him. I bet he's very charming. The AIDS start threw me for a loop at the beginning. Seems like an unnecessary detail. But Christopher Walken is the only actor on the planet that I would be starstruck by. Fact. Slept with Western Kentucky's mascot after a drunken day at Churchill Downs. She refused to keep the head on. Still 10 out of 10 experience. Yes. The big red blob thing. Not everybody gets to frick red grimace. Refused to keep the head on. But was she wearing the rest and there was like a flap of something? My sister fricked Drake. I walked into her room like 10 years ago and she was Skyping him. I waved to him and said hi and he showed me the studio he was sitting in, because I was skeptical. Pretty cool. I guess they met up after his show in the city we lived in at the time and then never spoke again lol. How old was she? Well, she's 8 now. Damn, just left Josh hanging I guess. I hooked up with the drummer of Slipknot when they were in town, twice. I was working at a strip club and he wanted lap dances. He paid me to do a lap dance for like, at least an hour. It was a ton of money. We bonded in conversation in that time. He invited me to hang out at his hotel, which I was still naive enough to not know if that just meant hanging out. I liked him though. We had fun, and he put me on the guest list. I went to his show the next night, went backstage, checked out the tour bus, and then met him at his hotel again. For the answer to how was it, he was good. It was fun. I'm assuming Joey, not Jay. Nope, it was Jay. Really nice guy. I got it on with a star of a popular 80s sitcom. She rocked my world. To protect her anonymity, I will refer to her only as B. Arthur. I shook hands with Penn and Teller, then went back to my hotel room and fricked my wife. I take it Teller watched? A good magician never tells. A friend slept with the lead singer of City and Colour when they were touring university campuses in the early 2000s. She bragged about it to anyone who would listen. That ended a few weeks later when she realized he gave her chlamydia and genital warts. Gave her the all sleeping sickness. Dallas Green is the guy's name. You know, City and Colour. I stood 2 feet away from Ethan Hawke in Tulum, Mexico at the restaurant. Heartwood, and that's the closest I've been to a celebrity's genitals. I worked in DC for a congressman when Brad Pitt came to talk to Pelosi about his charity. He nodded at me when he walked by me in the rotunda. Nodded. He wanted you, bad. He was married to Angelina at the time. She was there shooting salt, I think. But I like your interpretation. He knew Angelina would want you to, but he was too nervous to just come up and say it. Was probably hoping the head nod would be enough to let you know. But since you didn't pursue it, you left Brad and Angie disappointed. What could have been? Congrats, you've made it to the end. You're a beast. Like and subscribe for more r/ask Reddit content. It's free, so why not just do it?